So here's the thing. 100 years ago, Babe Ruth was the greatest baseball player of his generation. He ate a lot of hot dogs and drank a lot of beer, and then bing bang, he hit home runs. But the debate still remains. Would Babe Ruth still be good if he played in the MLB today? So instead of having some professional answer that question for you, you're left with me, some weird teenager who may or may not have just learned how to tie a tie.
Wait, did I even do this right? Why am I wearing a hoodie with a tie anyways?
So what if Babe Ruth time traveled to the present day to play in the MLB? Now people have a lot of different opinions on this. Some people think he'd be just as good as he was before, and others think he wouldn't stand a chance. Now both points could be true, but it completely depends what age Babe Ruth was when he time traveled. If he's like 5 years old or younger, then obviously he'd have just as much of a chance of making it to the big leagues as any other 5-year-old in America. This also depends on how much time he would have to adapt to the new century. So let's say at age 20, Babe Ruth time traveled to right now. For starters, I think almost every single MLB team would want to sign him, not just for his potential skills, but also for the marketing. Just imagine how much the owners could sell tickets of a live game with Babe Ruth playing in it. So if he was to sign with an MLB team right now, let's just make up a team. The Denmark Water Bottles. Wait, don't actually name the team that. I was just joking. So Babe Ruth's first day on the job, he would already have access to better training, equipment, video reviews, education on technique, and nutrition. Also, Babe Ruth's diet probably wouldn't fly for the high standards of the Denmark water bottles, as he was pretty well known for excessively drinking beer, eating hot dogs, and smoking cigars. Also, Babe Ruth had some pretty poor vision in his left eye, which would put him at a major disadvantage, so Babe Ruth would also be given prescription glasses, which would be pretty huge for him. Now, all these things added up would definitely make Babe Ruth a better player, but would it be enough to make the big league roster? Well, Babe Ruth would still be considered a good power bat today, since it's rumored that Babe Ruth one time hit a 587-foot home run. Some say it's less than that, some say it could be as much as 600 feet, but whether it's 600 or 500 feet, that's still crazy impressive, even in the MLB today, as Babe Ruth easily has the biggest home run in MLB history. The furthest ever home run in a home run derby was 520 feet, and that was hit by Juan Soto in 2021. And that's also with guys purposely lobbing pitches down the middle of the plate, and these hitters having multiple chances to hit the ball. So Babe Ruth wasn't just a powerful hitter back then, but he would also be a powerful hitter today. I mean, just how much better would Babe Ruth have to be in the 1920s to match up with players today? Even though today the average pitcher throws around 92 miles per hour, I don't think it would be that crazy of a jump for Babe Ruth, who's used to having pitchers throw around 85 miles per hour. College players today on average throw around the mid 80s, and today the best players can make the jump from college to the big leagues, so I don't think that would be a problem for Babe Ruth. Now real quick, if you're enjoying this video so far, subscribing to me would mean a lot. It takes me a long time to make these videos because I want them to be as good as possible, and if you're already subscribed, maybe share the video with a friend. Now Babe Ruth was also an elite level pitcher for his time. Now his pitches topped out at 90 miles per hour, which is about 5 miles per hour faster than the league average at the time, but he also had 2 seasons with over 300 innings pitched, and for reference, the most innings pitched in the 2000s is 255, and the last time someone had over 300 innings pitched was Steve Carlton in the 1980s. Even though the average pitcher today throws faster than Babe Ruth did back in the day, 300 innings pitched, even throwing on average 85 miles per hour, is absolutely crazy, and most teams won't even let starting pitchers throw over 100 pitches in one game. Now, before I give my final opinion on this, feel free to comment down below how good you think Babe Ruth would be today. As long as you're respectful, I'll try to respond to every single comment. So if Babe Ruth time traveled to present day at age 20, and he had some time to get used to being in a new century, and he also has access to everything current players have, he would be in better shape, he would have better gear and equipment, and maybe scariest of all, he could even be stronger than before. Now it's hard to say if he could lead the Water Bottles to their first ever World Series championship, so I think with his raw talent, he could transfer his skills to today to be a pretty decent power bat. Even though he was a bigger guy, there are still players in the MLB who succeed and they're considered bigger guys, but that makes me wonder, who's the best player at every height?